Now we are ready. Okay, so again, step one is we're not using a calculator, all right? This is, you have to know how to graph a line by hand. And we did it last year, all right? So it's kind of like a review. I was stunned by the fact I had to review how to plot points. But some kids forgot how to plot points even, all right? So please listen carefully, all right? Last year when we did this, when we graphed a line for the first time, I told you that we're just picking 3 points. Now, the 3 easiest points we pick are always, not always, but for this moment, are going to be -1, 0, and 1. So everybody has to put in the x, they have to put -1, 0, and 1 in. All right, does anybody have any issues with that so far? All right, now, where did I come up with those points? I just told you what those points are. Every time, if you don't know, you just put -1, 0, 1 in. All right, now, if I say x equals -1, the next thing I want everybody to write up here is above the x, I want everybody to write x is called the independent variable. It's the independent variable. And the y is the what? Y is the dependent variable. And how I remember that is y depends on x. Y is dependent upon x. X can be anything. Y is the solution, all right, for whatever you plug x in. So I'm asking, if x is -1, can somebody tell me what the y would be? Remember? What is it? -2. Now, how did he get that? Because y equals 2 times whatever the x is. Everybody with me on that? So y would be -2. Now, we're going to let x equal what? 0. So what's 2 times 0? 0. So the y value is 0. Now when I plug in 1, 2 times 1 is what? 2. So there we go. So those are the 3 points that are going to make up your line. Those are the 3 points that are going to make up your line. So now we have to plot those 3 points. Now when you plot -1, -2, plotting -1, -2 means you go left 1 and down 2. And then we what? Plot 0, 0. And then we plot what? Right 1, up 2. And those 3 points should make a what? Those 3 points should definitely make a line. All right, so then what you do is you graph the line. Now, some of you will understand when you want to graph a line on Notability, if you hold it down, it automatically makes the straight line. So there is my equation of that line. All right, I just didn't think that was that hard. All right. Everybody good with that? Any issues? All right, so here we go. Let's now try number 2. What numbers am I going to plug in for x? You're going to plug in -1, 0, and 1. When I plug in -1, I get what? -3. When I plug in 0, I get what? When I plug in 1, I get, there you have it, just like that. All right, just like that. Now we're going to do what? Plot those 3 points, and it should make a line. All right, so -1, -3. Then I plot 0, 0. And then what? 1, 3. Again, I just don't think that's that hard. Anybody have any issues with those plotting those points? Anybody have any issues? All right, so now I'm going to draw the line. There you have it. Simple as that. All right. Anybody have any issues? All right, now we're going to talk about number 3 for a second. So everybody needs to put a little star by number 3. A little bit more difficult. Not really. Why don't I want to put -1 in? Because you'll get a fraction. -1, -2/3. Do I know where -2/3 is? Yes, but it's only an approximation, right? So I don't want to put in -1 this time. Can someone tell me what I want to put in? Well, I'm agreeing 0 works.
-2/3.
-2/3 times 2/3 still makes a fraction. So what number can I plug in for x so I don't make a fraction? Someone tell me. No. Not bad. What? No. Just tell me that whatever's in the denominator. What's in the denominator? 3. That number goes in, right? So I'm going to do -3, 0, and 3. Why is that? Because when I divide by 3, that will cancel out with the other 3. Does everybody agree with that? So now if I were to do this, y equals 2/3 times -3. So what's that? Thank you, -2. Oh, 2 times 3 divided by 3. Come on. If you're not sure about that, I'm in a little bit of trouble. And instead of embarrassing yourself, you can type that in on your calculator. Let's say for some strange reason you forgot what that was. Just type in on your calculator 2/3 times -3. And that will tell you -2. What happens when I plug in 0? What do I get?
0.
0, thank you. And what happens when I type in 3? 2, +2. Exactly. All right, so I'm pretty happy with you guys on that. All right, so now let's plot those points. All right, so here we go, plotting. I'm going to plot -3, -2. Then I'm going to plot 0, 0. And then I'm going to plot 3, 2. And then we're going to graph that. All right, anybody have any issues with that? Not too bad, right? Not bad at all. All right, again, we did this last year in our pre-algebra class. All right, so it should have been pretty good. All right, now does anybody have any issues with those 3? All right, so now we're going to talk about the calculator. So now everybody take out your calculator for me. Now here's where I'm having trouble because you have to what? You got to listen carefully because I don't have it on my computer. All right, you have to listen. All right, everybody with me? All right, here we go. Something really, really cool. Your calculator is amazing. You'll be using it all the way through high school. All right, and if you know how to use it, you have a huge advantage over people who do not know how to use it because you can use it on the SATs, you can use it on the ACTs. All right, you can use it on most standardized tests now. All right, so you have a big advantage. So first thing is, all right, we're going to graph y equals 2x. All right, now how do you graph y equals 2x? So first and foremost, you go hit the y equal button, and the y equal button is in the top left. Everybody go to the top left, and then you hit y equals. Now, make sure all of those y equals are empty. Someone had numbers in all 10 and it messed the calculator up. So y1, y2, y3, y4, all of those should be blank. And if they're not blank, just hit what? Delete or clear. And it'll clear each one. So all those have to be blank. All right? Now, once you have that, all right, you're going to have to hit the number 2. Hit 2, and then I need x. So you're under y1, you're typing in 2x. I don't know what was hard about that. Now, finding x is pretty hard. So x is this button right here. All right, there's a button, and on it there's an x, there's a t, there's a theta, and I believe an n. All right, when you get to calculus and pre-calculus, you'll be using that a lot. But right now, we just want the what? We just want the x. So everybody hit the x, right? What? What?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. Hit 2. And then, I don't know what your question is. Y equals 2x. Everybody has that on there. Just come on, I'm asking you, y equals 2x. Is that on there? All right, that's it. I don't need anything else. Everybody have y equals 2x. All right? Yeah, you guys are asking me if that's an x. All right? Now, we're going to do this. Now, I need everybody to pay attention because you've had your calculators and sometimes the screen gets messed up. So I want everybody to go to where it says Zoom. Zoom is on the top. Look on the top. I believe it's right in the middle. It says Zoom. Hit Zoom for me. And then a menu comes up of all different things I'm going to teach you. Right now, I want to Zoom Standard. All right, so go down. I believe Zoom Standard is 6. Right, hit Zoom Standard, and it puts it in a -10 by 10, -10 by 10, and as soon as you do that, it should graph that line. All right, and that should be cool. All right, you should be able to see that's where all the graphs are going to come from. What's the matter with yours? All right, invalid dimension. I just have to fix it real quick. All right, do something on your calculator. All right, and as soon as I do that, now you're good.
Oh, wow. It's really nice.
Like I said, hopefully you're good with that. All right, that's really fascinating. Your calculator has the ability to graph anything. Your calculator has the ability to do anything. Later, I'm going to show you why there was a problem with the dimension mismatch error. I'll explain to that because we're actually going to plot points and graph lines. It's really nice. All right, but my question, everybody should have the first one in there. Anybody have any questions with that? Anybody have any issues? Anybody? All right. So now the next best thing on here is that your calculator has the ability to do the table for you also. All right. So now what I want everybody to do is I want everybody to hit the second button and then graph. If you hit second graph, the table should come up. What are you doing? That's what I'm saying. Some of you playing around. All right, now what I want you to do when you go into your table, scroll up and down, and if you want, hold it down. That will tell you the values, correct? So you want to see the negatives and the positives. You scroll up and scroll down. Yes, the numbers are already supposed to be on there. And then those are the actual points that are on the graph. You understand me? Yes. What? Somebody else have any issues? All right, so now you know how to do the graph. Now you know how to do the table, right? But that's not how I like the table. I don't like the table because sometimes I want to put in my own points. So here's how you do that. All right, now I really need your attention. All right. Now, there's a button. I need everybody first. Does everybody understand what I say? Hit the second button. You know what that means, right? Now, I want to go to table set. All right, I'm going to change it. So second table set, which I think is on the very top, right? It's like the second button, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Now, when you hit the table set, you see something, something, and then it says independent and dependent, correct?
Yeah.
Only thing you're going to change is the independent. All right. I want you to go to independent, move over, and I want you to change it to ask, not auto. You change it to ask and not auto. All right. Now, if you don't know what I'm saying, put your hand up and I can come around and show you real quick. All right. What? Second table set. Do that. Now I want to go over to the ask. That's what I want. All right. You might change it to ask. Now what I want you to do after you change second table set, you went down to independent. Now go back to table, second table, and there should be a problem. Second table. Now there should be nothing in there. Did I do that?
And now
Second table.
I saw it.
Second.
Yeah, I saw it as well.
All right. Now, if you have numbers in there, just delete them out. I want it all blank.
There's several hundred.
All right. No, there's not. All right. Now go to second table. Now you do that's exactly what I want. All right. Go to second table. Everybody show me the blank screen. Just delete all those. Like I said, learn. Delete. You have a blank screen up there. Doing that. I don't even know why I bother you sometimes. All delete all those. Delete those. If you go to second table set, you need to go down to here, go over, hit enter. Now go back to table, second table. Now, you got yours? I want those not there. Delete. Delete them. Delete them like I said. I don't want them there. What? Now second table. Delete all those. I don't want those here. Yeah, just delete. Just do what I said. Delete them. No, there aren't multiple hundreds, Oscar. There isn't. All right. Now, everybody, I really just want the blank screen there for a reason. All right, because I want to show you probably it's more important for you to enter your own points. That's what this is allowing. So now I want you to type in -1, 0, and 1, and I'm trying to get you to see how that lines up with our answers. -2, 0, 2. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
Right. What's the matter, Jake?
I just put it there and then work.
Well, what do you have under y equals? I'm asking you to do number 1, y equals 2x. Everybody should have under y equals 2x. Go to y equals. Now again, all right, here we go. Second table set. Okay, that's good. Go to y equals. You can type in 2x. Now hit second table. Go to second table set. the enter button. I may have forgotten to say that. All right. And when you type in a number, you have to hit enter, and then that automatically spits out what the Y value that goes with that X is. What? You don't listen. That's the problem I'm having with you. Always, you think you know what you're doing. Now type in -1 and hit enter, and then bingo, bongo. There you go, -2. Now go 0. Type in 0. And then, of course, we know you got to hit the enter button, and it'll spit out the Y value. Brilliant. No, you're thinking too much. You're not listening. That's your problem. You think you know, and so you don't listen, and then you have problems, and you want me to come over here and personally give you little attention. Yes, you do. I'm not giving you any more personal attention. You're going to listen. All right, that's the problem. All right, everybody good? So now today I've taught you how, well, some of you I've taught how to get the graph on, how to get the table, how to change your table set so you can enter your own numbers. Now, the reason why that's important is because now go to number 3. Now, this is hilarious. Everybody type in y equals 2/3 x. And then I had some kids say, I don't know how to type in 2/3. What is a fraction button? The division, yes. You can just type in 2 divided by 3 and then hit the X button. Then go to graph and you can look at it. But more importantly, I kind of want you to look at the table. Now, when you go to table, I said to type in -3, 0, and 3. Now, where the X is, type in -3, 0, and 3 this time, and see if you get the same outcome as I have. You can't type right over. You don't have to delete. You don't have to delete. All right, you can type right over. We don't need that anymore. That's always going to stay there. So go to second table. Now type in -3. No, not -3. -3. Go back over here. Yes. Enter. There you go. Now 0 is already there, so we enter. Now 1, 3. Bingo. There you go. Look at that. Easy. What? Because you didn't type y equals 2/3 what? What did you forget? No, you can't. Listen, the calculator will only do what you tell it to do. Like, you see what I'm saying, right? And again, I'm just telling you, I know where people are making the mistakes because I've been doing this for a long time. I'm saying you have to type in exactly what it is. All right, I can't do it for you. You've got to understand now where the X is. You got to understand the difference between minus and negative. All right, does anybody have any issues with that? All right, anybody? All right, so we're going to try one more before I try to show you something else before we leave. All right, I want everybody now to type in number 5. All right, everybody type in number 5. Y equals 2/3 x plus 1. And then just graph it and see what it looks like. Everybody type in y equals 2/3 x plus 1. Does it's...
No, I was gonna number 4.
What? 2 divided by 3 is the fraction 2/3. No, if it's a flat line, you didn't put the X in. No, you didn't. I know all the curves on the graph. Trust me. You don't have to tell me anything. I can do all of it if you listen and pay attention. Right. So now, what numbers did I want to plug in for X?
-3, 0, 3.
Yes, and when you plugged in -3, we got what?
-1, 1, 3.
Okay, now plot those points. All right, everybody's got to plot the points on the graph. and then draw the line, and then compare that with the graph. Don't type in -1 because it's a fraction. When you type in -3. Wow. Wow. Oh, that was so hard. Very difficult. Very difficult. You know what you're doing? You sure? Positive. Right, smarty pants.
Okay, Mr. Stroud.
I'm not even talking to you
No,
anymore.
we met
Not,
Mr.
oh, this ought to be interesting.
Okay.
Very
How much is
interesting.
to draw a line with this?
What?
With -1.
It's the problem with you today. Hit y equals. Let's see if you can type in an equation for y equals here. Maybe if you put the x in, that would help. It's not 2/3 plus 1. What equation? Oh, yeah. Some of you are learning, if you don't type in the x, it makes a difference. What am I doing?
How do you graph a triangle? No.
Stop.
No, go away.
Genuinely confused. Very good. Not like normal, right? You're genuinely today. Go. What? Oh my goodness. I can't help you if I say go to y. Look, this is so embarrassing. I'm saying type in 2/3 x plus 1, and half of you typed in 2/3 plus 1. What am I supposed to do with this?
I fixed the triangle.
If you can't look and plug something in, x, when it says x on the paper, that means put x on the calculator. Then you might get a right answer, Oscar.
Come on, Oscar. At least you
Not
didn't
mentioning
get it
names over here in the corner.
wrong.
What? You forgot the x too, right?
How did I get a triangle in the
No,
drawing?
it's not.
I made a triangle.
All right, finally.
Oh, are these?
This ought to be
Can we make the graphs like an edge sketch line?
Okay.
Mr. Shroud.
Doesn't curve.
Mr.
The
Shroud.
line should be somewhat straight.
Can you make the graphs like an edge sketch? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
I am exhausted. This is embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing.
Mr. Shroud.
Okay, stop talking to me, Alden. Stop talking to me. Here we go. Now, how much time do I have? This train wreck. I hope this.
And Mr. Shroud.
Okay.
Number 4.
Here we go. So listen, stop talking to me, please. All right, I need a quick little for tomorrow because I didn't get enough done today because some of you guys don't know how to put an X when I say put an X on there. All right, you're asking me why didn't it work out? Because you can't even type something in correctly. All right, so I got to jump to number 10 for a quick second. All right, so when you come into class tomorrow, I need for you to be able to say, well, if I say what's the x-intercept and what's the y-intercept, you ought to be able to talk to me. So an x-intercept, all right, is where the line crosses the x-axis. So above x-intercept, I want you to write where the line crosses the x-axis. When it says y-intercept, I want you to write down where the line crosses the y-axis. One more time. X-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis, and the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. Now, I'm going to say that a bunch of times. And Alden, this is why you're behind. Because I'm saying things you're ignoring and you're playing on your calculator. Don't ask me questions. You're banned. You're not allowed to ask me questions. And Jack, about the same for you. You have to stay focused on what I'm saying, or you're going to ask a bunch of dumb questions and do a bunch of dumb things. So again, x-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis. The y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. Now, the x-intercept, because it's where the line crosses the x-axis, the y value is always 0. So I want you to put right above the x-intercept y is 0. Which means the y-intercept occurs when what? The x is 0. Thank you very much. So again, the x-intercept, the y is always 0. The y-intercept, x is always 0. So now I'm going to try to draw a line over here, just an example, and I'm going to ask you to tell me what the x-intercept and what the y-intercept is. No. All right, there's my beautiful line. So, this is why you're not allowed to talk. What's the x-intercept?
-5.
Wrong. What's the x-intercept? 3. Again, look, I understand that. This is the x-intercept right there. All right, so that I want you to be able to tell me is 3, 0. All right, that's the x-intercept. That's all there is to it. I can't help you. You can't talk math if you can't say x-intercept. All right, y-intercept. So the y-intercept would be what? The y-intercept would be -5. The y-intercept would be -5, and you would write the y-intercept as 0, -5. All right, now, to me, I was a little ambitious because I thought we could get through all these problems. All right. Yeah, I know some of you can't follow directions very well. I would agree, Alden. That is hilarious. All right. So again, tonight, here's what I'm asking you. Tomorrow when you walk into class, I need everybody with their calculator, and I'm not going to spend the time that I spent today trying to show you something. All right, tonight I need you, if you're not or you're feeling confused, go home and listen to the comedy show, all right, and listen to what I said, all right? Now, here again, all right, tomorrow when you come to class, I'm going to start on number 10, then you're going to have a second worksheet. I've got to finish up this worksheet and do the next worksheet, or you're going to have a bunch of homework. I don't want to give you homework over the weekend. All right, but we got to get things done. All right, today was too slow. All right, so tonight you are responsible for making sure you know how to graph the line on the calculator, use the table on your calculator, and graphing the lines on this paper right here, which means I want everybody to finish 1 through 9. That's your job. Finish 1 through 9. All right. Anybody have any questions with what they're supposed to be doing for tonight? All right. Now, again, for me personally, I like using the table. So plug in the numbers for X and then just use the table to tell you what the answer is. All right. Now I'm trying to find out if there's anything more challenging. No, there's nothing. Okay. Number 4, just to make sure everybody's with me. On number 4, what would be the X values that I plug in? 2, what? 2, 0, and what? -2. Is it okay if I say -2, 0, and 2? Doesn't make a bit of difference. You always have to plot 3 numbers. 0 is a good one, a positive, and a negative. All right, that's what we're working on. All right, again, please, guys, it's so important. I cannot take the time to show you how to use the calculator every day, and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to say refer to the video. Refer to the video. All right, that's why you're practicing tonight. So when tomorrow I don't have to reteach anything. We're just good. Yes. Yes, there are. Because you can plot different points. That's a very good question. It doesn't have to be -2, 0, 2. It could be -4, 0, and 4. All right, there's an infinite number of points on a line. So we're just picking 3 because I want you to see that 3 points make the line. All right, if you make a mistake, you won't be able to tell if you only use 2, but if you use 3, you can see your mistake. All right, again, hopefully you feel pretty good about the calculator. Make sure you bring it with you every day. All right, every day. All right, there's lots I can show you. All right, great job. Hopefully Home Peeps, you guys were able to do and get and understand everything. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Make sure that work gets done. Have a great day, guys.